You ever been at the shop and you buy something and it's $5, but then you go back next month to the same shop and now it's $7? That's where credit cards can come in. So this video is on how credit cards can actually help you save money. Now, people don't want to know what like credit cards. What do you mean credit cards? Everything I spend with debit. Yeah, debit cards are good, but what happens with credit cards is you can lend money, and as long as you pay back that money at the end of the month, you will not be charged it. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, but this is just advice I've used in order to save myself money. And I've seen this with inflation in the UK. Now, this might also apply to America as well. Now, credit cards want you to spend the money. They want you to spend the money, but they want you to miss the payment so that way they can make money from you. As long as you pay that back on time and you make sure you keep your records consistent, you can actually make a lot of money with credit cards. Now, how you do it is, for example, let's say when you do your grocery shopping, each month grocery shopping goes up in price, especially in the UK. So let's say today a donut is $1 or £1, and next month is £1.50, and then by the end of the year it's £2. By doing the credit card method, you've spent that $1, which you're then going to pay back at the end of the month, instead of paying on your debit card and then buying it with your debit card and the money coming out of your account straight away. So for example, let's say you spent something for $1 in America. The next month, you now need to pay £1.50 for that same item, or the next month you then have to pay £2 for that next item. But if you use your credit card, what will happen is you'll be saving that money because you're only paying that off at the end of the month. Inflation goes up and down every single day, but your money's not coming out of your account straight away. It's coming out of your account at the end of the month. So this is how you can actually save money by using a credit card. Another way you can save money is when you have a credit card, it can also help you when you're going and traveling. When you travel and you use cash, especially in airports, they will cost you a lot of money on inheritance tax, or they'll tax you based on the current exchange rate of that currency. So for example, let's say you have a currency of Japanese yen and you want to have American dollars, or from American dollars to euros, you're going to get taxed heavy on the conversion rate because of the notes in circulation. However, when you use a card that's a credit card, especially if it's an international credit card, you can then actually use that credit card in different countries without having to pay the exchange rate, which can actually save you money in the long term. So it's good for traveling. Also, another reason why credit cards are good is if you get ones that actually give you extra cash back. So they give you cash back on certain items. Some credit cards will give you cash back on certain items depending on what those items are, or depending on where you shop online. So sometimes when you buy things online and you use your debit card, you're paying the full amount. But some credit cards can give you free shipping, can give you free transfers, can actually give you some bonuses. So it's always good to look around at different credit cards and look at which credit cards are good for you in your country. Now, I don't know where you live specifically, but it's always good to look at different credit cards in different countries and look at your options, especially ones that give you bonuses on travel, give you, actually some of them even give you like flight discounts, so you can get discounts, or like travel miles, you can get travel miles as well. It's always good to sign up for travel miles. It's always good to sign up for things that you can leverage your money, because that's how you actually build wealth, by leveraging your money. Also, another one, which I'm not a financial advisor, but I have done it, which is, big risk, big reward. But with some credit cards, you can actually use them to actually day trade. So let's say, for example, you don't have £1,000, right? But you use a credit card with £1,000. You then put it into a stock, and in 2 weeks, that stock, let's say it goes to 1,500. You can then pay that credit card off. So you pay the £1,000 back to the credit card company, so you don't owe them, and then that $500 extra you have in your pocket. So it's good for crypto and trading and things like that as well. So when it comes to trading and doing online transactions, you can do that. However, I would say you have to be careful, because you can lose money. So you don't want to get into credit card debt, so you can lose money. But if you have guaranteed crypto movements, or you have friends who work in stock or work in finance, and you actually know that something's going to pay off, you can use a credit card for that. For example, let's say you have a credit card that's got a maximum of $500. That $500, you go buy a product, like you buy a makeup product, or you buy like headphones, or you buy gaming accessories, or you buy pillows, or whatever you buy. You then sell those. Once you've sold all of it, let's say you make about £650 in profit. That 500 you give back to the credit card company, and now you have 150 for yourself. So you can also use credit cards to buy things, and then with that actually resell it. A lot of This is why a lot of the time on Snapchat or Instagram, you'll see people reselling phones or reselling laptops or TVs. Is a lot of those are actually bought with credit cards. Once they've sold those items for more money, they then the difference of the money, they can pay back their credit card, and you can actually also build a credit score. So credit card companies give you a credit score, which are actually good for when you want to buy a house in the future or you want to buy a car. You can actually get a credit score. Now, credit scores are good because some even employers, they want to see that you have a credit record, because if you can't be trusted with your own money, how do they trust to employ you and that you will turn up on work on time and actually get the job done? Especially when looking at buying a house. Even if you have enough cash to buy the house, sometimes they want to check your credit card history to make sure that you're a reliable person who can pay bills on time and actually cover the cost of things. So credit cards can be a helpful tool when it comes to traveling, when it comes to actually building a credit score, when it comes to making more money for yourself. Like I said, even if you want to get the credit card and buy something that will invest in yourself, and then you can turn that into a business. So for example, let's say you get a credit card, and with that credit card, you buy an item online, any item you want. So let's just say, for example, you buy 50 chairs on Amazon. You then resell those chairs on eBay, and let's say even if you get it for $10 and you sell it for $12, each single one of those chairs you've made $2 profit on. With that money profit, you can keep that to yourself and pay the company back, pay the credit card company back on time at the end of the month. You won't get charged, and with the difference, you'll have that money in your pocket. So that's why credit cards can actually be used as good for business, good for credit score, good for traveling, good for exchange rates in different countries and things like that. Because as soon as you have cash in certain countries, that's when they'll charge you more, because those notes are in process. You know, they have to have banks print the notes, which obviously you're using the notes, it will actually have to pay the transfer fee. But if you just tap on a card and your card's international, that can help you as well when it comes to traveling around the world. And I've been to like a lot of countries, so it's actually very helpful. But like I said, yeah, that's just video on credit cards and how credit cards can be useful. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, but I would say when it comes to it, look at your options, look at the country you're in, make sure you don't get scammed, and make sure you actually look at what will work for you and your financial situation. But always be careful and always look at how do you actually try to earn more money than what you're earning currently. But thank you for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know, comment if you did, and let me know for any future ideas.